Okay. Dear Philip, dear friends, it's with great pleasure that I greet this Deutschlandtag today, as a representative of the youth organization of Albania, but also as a chairman of IYDU. Because in the capacity of the chairman of IYDU, I can tell you today that our organization is much stronger and it's so stretched worldwide because of the work of many organizations throughout the world, but also mainly because of the work and contribution of Junge Union, through Philip Misfelder as your chairman and through Daniel Welter as a former chairman of IYDU. Dear friends, together we have worked and spread the message of democracy throughout the world. We have raised the voice for those that cannot talk about themselves. We have spoken out for those that cannot speak in every corner of the world. But sometimes we forget what goes on at home. We forget about strengthening youth in our own family, in our own center-right family. And sometimes when we're fighting in different corners of the world where democracy and young people struggle, we forget this. And that's a mistake that we should not be doing. But dear friends, I believe that through these bridges of fellowship and these bridges of friendship and cooperation, I think we can all together overcome such an obstacle, and we can all together overcome such a mistake. As we're young, we ask for a stronger youth, a better representation. We ask our mother parties for our voice to be heard. But many make the mistake to forget about that as they move on in their life and careers, to forget how hard it is for young people to get a chance and how frustrating it is for young people to knock on a door and the door doesn't open. Or sometimes even worse, to have someone behind that blocking that door for a young person. So what I say today is that as we move on in our careers, in our lives, we should never forget where we come from. We should never forget how we started. We should never forget why we got there. And I think Junge Union is one of the best examples of this. I believe that because when I was here for the first time a couple years ago, I saw a lot of older people around. I saw people that were definitely past the age of Junge Union membership. And I asked our host at the time, Thomas Schneider, a good friend, why is that so? And he said, they are all Junge Union. They all started as Junge Union, and they still show up to support Junge Union. And that's a good example that every organization throughout the world should learn and should live. Friends, this Sunday, Albania is preparing for the visit of Pope Francis. Very important for the country, very important for the region. When the Pope was asked why he was going to visit Albania as the first country in Europe, his answer was because this country suffered very much under communism. It endured very hard hardships and they deserve this visit. That is true. But what's also true is that communism in Albania was overthrown because of young people, students of Tirana and young people of Tirana. Because it is the youth who raises the voice when everybody else shuts up. Because it's the youth who takes action when everybody else sits on the sidelines. And it is the youth who brings change because change is needed. But history also shows us that very often, once youth achieves this, once young people achieve this change, they are often left on the sidelines. And the usual guys take the spotlight. Well, I think that's the biggest change that we should make. And together, united, I believe we can do that. Friends, to conclude, I want to say to both guys, to both Paul and Benedict who are running, that I hope that we continue the great cooperation that we have had so far. I hope that they both work for a stronger youth in the future. And I want to leave them with a line from the book of Isaiah, who says that even when young people will faint and grow weary, the young will stumble and be exhausted. But those who have faith and see God shall renew the strength. They shall go up with wings like eagles. And young people have shown that they can be strong and tough eagles throughout the history. Dankeschön. Philip. Well, and talking about eagles, a token of friendship and support, thank you from Albania and thank you from IYDU.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön.